We started off this tournament with 256 virtual fighters, all trying to make their mark into becoming the best PS4 EA Sports UFC 3 fighter, but slowly guys started getting knocked out, and finally we are now down to the Elite 8. The verbal jabber has been going back and forth, the intensity is heightened, but now all the talk is done, and we are left with 8 virtual elite fighters. May the best man win.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you listening?
Ricky J. Sparks.
Oh boy, here we go. Leading off the Elite 8 matchup, we've got Romero 17 going up against Mr. Badass 246.
Hey, I don't want to be out of order here, but Mr. Badass is gaining a lot of fans. You know, he kind of reminds me of me. I hope he does well.
What is up, people? And who would have thought in the Elite 8 matchup, we've got a mirror match. Bruce Lee versus Bruce Lee. And everybody knows the caliber of Romero. Romero is a solid fighter, and he's been doing well all tournament, but the fans have really been piggybacking on Mr. Badass for his unbelievable comeback performance against Labradog. But a cat only has 9 lives, and how many lives does Mr. Badass have? But for him to take out Romero, he really has to bring his A-plus game, man, because Romero, everybody knows him, man. People are just scared to fight this guy. But it's interesting that Romero would go with Bruce, man. I would have put my money on a guy that has a little bit of wrestling background just so he can go to it. But when you do a mirror match, it kind of cancels each other out in a way. So maybe he can go to that, but right now, it's a feeling out process, man. Jeez, this Elite 8, I don't know all of them, from the top of my head. I'm going to try. You got Ed Parker. Goats are very frisky. Who else? These 2, that makes it 4. Bleed, Aaron 21, FCB, and I'm Swiss Labax. Oh my gosh. I think that was 8, but it's unbelievable how many guys that are, oh man, the 8 guys that are left. Oh, and Romero's guy was kind of twitching right there. But right now what we have here is a very tactical battle, but both guys are taking chances, But they're taking chances, but they're not overdoing it, especially in this first round. But the one thing you have to watch out with Romero is he'll bait you in to coming at him, and then he'll plant his feet and hit you up with some killer combos. So you got to be careful. But Badass, man, I don't know if I read any of his comments from his last fight, but he must be flying high, man. I don't want to call it an upset, but some people were calling it an upset against good old Labradog. Oh, the chain attacks, and Romero's hurt. And surprisingly, he goes for a takedown. I guess he wants to solidify the round. But Mr. Badass, man, he's a lot of fun to watch. And he's riding that momentum train, man, from his last fight. Oh, see that front elbow that he did there? So whose round was that? Gotta give it to Badass on that one for that wobble. Very even round. And those chain attacks are just so hard to stop. I was talking about that in the previous fight video, man. It's so tough to stop. And look at this. See, this is where Romero's dangerous. He knows he's down, and then he's going to go to that killer wrestling ability. And for all you people that don't know, he's an actual real wrestler in real life, man. So he knows the game. Oh, the old axe kick. Oh, here we go. Nice denial. And look for that over-under HUD to deny that, people. Oh, and that's what stunned him. Oh, what? He kind of aborted mission right there. That's what stunned him in that first round. So obviously this is anybody's round right here, but this fight is looking like it may go to a decision, so you gotta be careful. Wow, how did that shot to the body not register? Both of these guys like that spinning sidekick, jumping sidekick to the body. Oh, nice. He's got to be careful. Badass needs to be careful with those wild kicks, man, because Romero's got fantastic footwork. And again, what makes Romero dangerous is that ability to, like I said, to bait you in, and then he'll plant and throw some crazy combos. See that? He's just hanging back, waiting for you to miss. Badass can't be doing that, man. And nice circle action. Great footwork. And Romero has that slight stamina advantage, but this fight is so even. If you're tuning in for the first time, man, you know, we started off this tournament with 256 fighters. Now we're only down to 8. So both of these men have felt the taste of victory many times. And if you're counting, this is the 6th round. So this is their 6th fight of the tournament. So they've both been through wars. They've both fought, you know, they both fought against adversity and prevailed, man. But what I'm noticing here in this second round is that Badass seems to be whiffing a little bit too much. And Romero is doing a nice tactical job at getting his opponent to chase him and making him Edmund style. Miss, Ronda. But this round is so even. I hope one of them... Oh, he rocked his body. Justin Timberlake, baby. Rock your body. I always find that funny, man. When Ed Parker, in one of his fights, he asked Alexa, "Hey Alexa, play Justin Timberlake, Rock Your Body." Very funny, but I think it's now one apiece here. This is like sudden death overtime. Whoever wins this round wins the fight. And in the game, the judges sometimes are bogus, but most of the time they get the fights right, man. Let's be honest. Oh, and this is what I'm talking about. Romero's ability to just bait you in and then come right at you. Oh, and Badass is in trouble. Oh! Ho, ho, ho. A smelly to the face. And Badass is down. And just like you saw in the beginning of this video, he needs to channel his inner Rocky Balboa. This is like... Badass is kind of like Forrest Griffin, you know, the Korean zombie. They need to get whacked a couple of times. They need to get knocked down before, just like the song, they get up again. And let's see if Badass can make a comeback right here. And remember, we've seen this before in Badass, so he's familiar with dropping the first fight. It's best 2 out of 3. Great respect shown right here. I love it. Some guys show respect, some guys just dislike each other. You know, they feel like, you're fighting for what I worked for my whole life. Remember, there's no prize in this tournament. It's bragging rights, man. So you're not going to get anything but, you know, a virtual handshake or a pat on the back. So at the end of the day, it's just for fun. But when it comes to bragging rights, it's more than just a prize, man. But back to the fight, I would like to see Badass be more selective with his strikes, but he needs to, you know, get that center of the octagon and get Romero whiffing a little bit. Romero is just very accurate, and the thing is, when you don't whiff on your strikes, you maintain such high stamina. And that's what Romero's doing such a good job of, is even if he's not landing, he's hitting the block. You don't see too many whiffs. There you go. There's Badass. Badass, I think here, he's going to go down with a fight here. But Romero's footwork is what's stifling his chain attacks, his combos to the body. He's simply just backing away and letting him miss. And then popping in striking range, popping in and out of striking range. I know I do a lot of GSP references, but UFC 65, St. Pierre versus Hughes. What made... Oh, axe kick! What made Matt Hughes lose, people don't know, man, was GSP's ability to hop in and out of range. In and out of striking range. He would hop in and out, in and out. Also, you can't forget the flying takedown defense. Do you remember that? Matt Hughes tried to take down GSP, and he did an air split flying takedown defense. Never seen it before. Try to Google it or YouTube it. It was an air split sprawl. Amazing. But right here, old momentum is on Romero's side, man. And Badass knows Romero's wrestling ability, and that's why I don't think he wants to take him down. I think he took him down in that first round of the first fight just to secure the round. But right here, he just doesn't have any other avenue to take this fight. But he's got to start taking some chances. But if it continues like this, you know, Romero's going to be moving on, man. I don't want to jinx it. You know what he'll be moving on to. I'm not going to say it. But this is crazy. Usually when I'm playing online, man, and I see a Bruce Lee, I always think it's going to be an easy win. But if you know how to use him, if you're good at the game, he really can be a deadly guy to use. And both of these guys are showing that right here. And the sound effects on his exhales are the best.
Wada, wada, wada.
But I'm just watching right here and see, Badass, he's going for the home run, man. And for all you baseball guys, I know it's the off season, but when you go for that home run, it just doesn't come. Even like a striker would say, when you look for the knockout, it doesn't come. It's got to come naturally, and he's really going for it. And in the baseball, back to the baseball reference, if you're going for the heavy swings, man, you're going to be striking out. So he seems to be whiffing. So the high risk, high reward thing is just not working for him, because Romero's tight with his striking, and his patience is nice. Nice to see. He's not like Swiss Labax, who's trying to get the video under 10 minutes. I'm so excited to see him in action. I believe he fights Bleed, but I could be wrong. But remember, Swiss Labax, all of his videos are under 10 minutes. Swiss Rush Labax, can't wait for that. Can't forget about Aaron 21. Goats are very frisky versus Ed Parker. Are you kidding me? Don't forget about, FCB is going to be facing Aaron 21. That's going to be a crazy fight, I believe. Hopefully I'm getting all the matchups right. I'm not looking at the bracket. Well, this round's a lot more even. Oh, look at this. Badass channeling his inner Rocky Balboa. Oh, if he hit him right there, the fight could have been done. Oh, he just keeps on missing. He just keeps on missing just by like a toenail on those key moments. And that may haunt him if he doesn't move on here. He's just like maybe an inch away from striking Romero's body. But this is nice to see. This is the Badass that we know and love, right? Oh, see, Romero's just so smart. Oh, he's rocked him. Look at how smart Romero is, and how can you not love Romero as well? He's just has that fighter's IQ, man, that you can't teach. And these really good players just have that ability of sensing what you're going to do and making the right movements at the correct times to make you pay, man. And Romero's doing that right here. Oh, I love that kick. When this game first came out, I would only use Nick Diaz, and every time I would rock my opponent, I would go with that axe kick to the head. And even when guys would duck, he would hammer it down right on the back of their heads and knock them out. It's a very deadly strike to use. I'm using Rose Namajunas too in the strawweight division, and she has it, man. And it's good to use. People don't know which way you're going to go when they see it. But look at Romero. Romero's starting to take some chances, put some pressure. But the one thing that's winning him this fight, it's not just the striking, it's his defense. Footwork and head movement. He's making Badass not connect like he's known to. And even at this point in the fight, Badass's stamina is low, man. And he's hurt right here. Oh, look at him come back, though. Look at Badass doing it for his fans. And he's got some crisp striking, man. Oh. And right here at this point of the fight, Romero could just not take any, he doesn't need to take any chances. He just can pick away at Badass. If I'm Romero here, not like he needs advice, but that's what I would do here. I wouldn't look for anything crazy, just chip away. I know I got the stamina advantage. I know I'm winning this fight. No need to be crazy. No need to get on, you know, get on the highlight reel. Oh, and you gotta watch out for Badass, man. He's one tight combo away from tying up this fight. But his head's flashing. Look at his movements too. His Bruce Lee model is exhausted. Sweating, tired, sucking in air. Look at him. Can't move properly. And Romero's Bruce Lee model looks fresh. A lot more fresh than Badass's. Oh. And at this point, oh, Badass is just hanging on for dear life, and it's done. The Rocky Balboa story is done for Mr. Badass. And cool as cool can be, Romero 17 has now punched his ticket into the final four, man. No matter what happens, you did awesome, brother, man. For a 256 fighter tournament to be in the final four is unbelievable. But you got to give it up, man, for Mr. Badass. He had a heck of a tournament. He had people jumping out of their seats. He had me on the edge of my seat. He had me just with my hands up in the air in his fights, just enjoying his skills. So keep your head up, brother. You did awesome. But we got to give respect to Romero. He's moving on. He'll be continuing to train as he faces yet another tough opponent. But anyhow, people, keep it locked here at Ricky J Sports for some more tournament action. And I'll catch you in the next video, guys. This is Ricky J, baby, from Ricky J Sports. And as always, guys, you are awesome.